Good day and welcome to today's Conversation podcast. Today we are going engineering. I'm glad to host the newly elected Engineering Institution of Zambia President, Engineer Wesley Wyman Kaluba. He has just taken over from his brother, Ebo Ngandu. My dear brother, welcome to today's Conversation podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a huge pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. I've been looking for you to come and grace the event, but like the Lord says, everything comes together, I think, in due course. And today we are on this topic. Many people have just seen you burst into the national scene as president of the Engineering Institution of Zambia, and they may not know who Wesley Wyman Kaluba is. Let's start from there. Who is Wesley Wyman Kaluba?
Thank you very much, Ambassador. It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, I think Wesley Wyman is not a new name in engineering fraternity. I've been in the EIZ for quite some time. I've served as vice president for the Engineering Institution of Zambia, serving under 3 presidents: Engineer Sidney Matamwandi, Engineer Eugene Hazele, and even Engineer Ebo Ngandu himself. I served for the 3 of them. So I've got quite some experience in the engineering fraternity, engineering issues, lobbying for policy, conducive policy, which can further engineering in Zambia. But before that, I was...
Tell us your early life.
Yes, my early life. Yeah, I was born in Mufulira at Ronald Ross, and in a family of 3, being last born. And from Mufulira, we moved immediately to Kitwe, a place called Mindolo. If you cross the road from Chimwemwe, obviously that is Mindolo on the other side. Yeah. So there are a number of people who call me boy from Mindolo. This is a renowned name in Kitwe.
I see.
I started school in Kitwe, and then I went to Kitwe Boys Secondary School. So I've grown up actually in a mining community, and you obviously know the Mindola shaft. Growing up in those dirt brown soils, playing football, barefoot football, with most of the people who ended up playing Fonkana.
Affected na
from Mufulira to Kitwe. So I grew up like that, with a number of associates across the road in Chimwemwe, in Mindolo. Then I went to Kitwe Boys. And obviously Kitwe Boys, you know, everybody came from Kitwe Boys. Yeah, there's so many prominent names in this country whom I can mention. I think my head boy then was Father Frank Walia. Yes, that's why you see that why my name is very easy to, because quite a number of people I can mention, from Franklin Tembo Jr., Grevazio, whoever, Engineer Charles Mshota. There are so many people who passed through Kitwe Boys, and I was...
P.S. Charles Mshota also went to Kitwe Boys.
Went to Kitwe Boys.
Wow.
So many people. I think the name is... The list is endless.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. I had the privilege to serve also as deputy head boy at Kitwe Boys, 1992. At Kitwe Boys, I loved playing chess and writing. I was editor-in-chief, you won't believe it.
Wow.
For a period we used to call the Kibosek Vision. I was in the debate club, or in the maths club, everything. And most people never thought that I could be an engineer, but my love for physics, specifically, and mathematics is what led me to pursue engineering at UNZA. And at UNZA, I studied mechanical engineering. So I'm a mechanical engineer, though I prefer wearing so many hats. Yeah. I've served in a number of industries, a number of sectors. And
your professional life, where have you been?
In my professional life, I've worked in the automotive industry. I think I first started, my first job was with Pilatus Engineering in Lusaka. And at that time, the mines had just been... Pilatus. Yes. With working with Joe Wheeler and Victoria. Yes. That was the first job. I love vehicles. You won't believe it. I used to repair vehicles with my bare hands, change filters, suspensions.
Even if you were an engineer.
Yes, I enjoyed that so much. The spare parts for BMW are still in my head, from 3 Series, 7 Series. Did so much sales. And I think we broke so many records with BMW. We had so many important customers such as Zambia Police, I remember State House, KCM, The former head of state, I think, was driving also a BMW, and that's why you're saying, maybe sorry, please. Yeah, I got noticed, and then I got a scholarship for young engineers from the SADC to study in German. And that's when I went to Augsburg University in Bavaria for maintenance management systems. That was my first postgraduate. From Germany, I had an opportunity to work for VW, which is Volkswagen, in Niedersachsen. I worked in the
When you were in German, did you learn in German or it was English?
Indeed.
Or you were forced
my
to?
program was entirely in German.
Oh
so
my.
I speak German. Ich spreche Deutsch, Deutlich.
Yeah.
German is my second home. That's why when I'm watching
wonderful.
these Euros, I'm always with German. Watching the World Cup is German. I was in Bavaria.
Okay.
So I fell in love in German. And it was in German, actually, where I got a transformation of my engineering career. Because from German, I understood now that engineering, the most important facet for engineering is to sell the engineering profession. You know, we have to sell. It's a competition.
Yeah, innovations and inventions are useless if they can't be used in communities.
You have to sell across
and
borders.
And if they can't be sold.
Yes.
And if they can't raise money.
If they can't raise money, engineering is a business. Most of the engineers I met, those that taught me and those who are in industry, they were grappling how they'll capture markets, say in Europe, entire Europe.
Well, just a minute, that's very key to the practical aspect of these skills that we talk about, and now they're absent. Remember, we say we have engineers that can't even make a toothpick. When you were at the University of Zambia and you were in Bavaria in Germany, the universities, tell us the differences there. Because here, you seem to be saying the application was more important. Also, the commercial aspect of your engineering skills and the inventions were also very important.
Very important.
Was the emphasis similar to University of Zambia? Is something that which we can localize?
Okay, I think the major difference here is research and development, the R&D. You know, our friends have invested so much at R&D. If you are going to talk about certain skills, like fabrication, you know, building small machines, which also we have those skills in Zambia, though they may be not so much enhanced. However, our colleagues have invested so much R&D. If you are going to be a skilled person on the roadside, in garden compound, you know, fabricating gates and so much, there's already a value chain that has been built through R&D, where your products will just land. You don't have to care so much on how the sales will be done. So
they bother to create the value chain.
The value chain has been done for engineering.
Not Mwapanga gate.
Then yourself you have to
3 months per
And in that value chain, obviously, there are standards that you have to conform to.
Okay.
You know, so it's the R&D which looks at the logistics, the marketing for your products, and also the standards that you have to conform to. Other people are going to assess whether you are adhering to those standards. If you are not, then you fall off. You know, so there's that enhancement of skills that come naturally through competition and through standards which are monitoring how people are performing. It can be done in this country, but I think we need to relook at our systems. Instead of just whipping the engineer to say that the Zambian engineer cannot do this. Engineering is more than just the professionals that are practicing it. It's the entire country. You know, so what are we doing as citizens of this country to help engineering thrive?
Before you come to that, finish your story in Bavaria, Germany, because I have a lot of questions for you when it comes to the practical aspect of your profession.
Thank you very much. In Germany, I had to, like I said much earlier, I got a transformation. I understood because I wanted to, coming from the automotive industry, I was given an opportunity whether to serve in BMW in Munich or at Volkswagen, which is mostly Audi in the north, in Niedersachsen. I chose to work at Audi because I didn't know much about Audi and Volkswagen. Owners of Lamborghini, by the way, as well. 60,000 employees in Wolfsburg.
Wow.
You can imagine the entire town, almost everywhere.
It's one of the largest motor companies in the world.
And I was working there. Obviously, I also fascinated how the Germans have linked academia with industry. Any lecturer who teaches you at the university is also a manager in industry. Wow. So, you know, at university, you could have somebody teaching you, like engineers. We also need to learn about personnel vision, which is personnel management. And let me just say human resources.
Yeah.
Because you're not just dealing with machines. You have to deal with people, maybe in a plant. My lecturer at university will be telling you, will be simulating problems that you are likely to face as an engineer with your personnel that you supervise in a workshop. Later on in the afternoon,
again, that is very important what you've just said.
Yeah.
You know, there are many times you have qualified engineers, even running firms, but when you put them as managers, directors, then they fail. Because I think no one then gave them managerial and administrative skills.
Yes.
So it's very important that what you are saying is that they were not just equipping you with engineering knowledge and practicals, but now they were equipping you to also manage human resource and other resources.
It's very true. And, you know, later on I'll talk about what we are doing as EIZ to ensure that the universities that are accredited with the EIZ that are teaching engineering, they're incorporating so many of that content. At the University of Zambia, there are courses that talk about industry, okay? And there are modules that are talking about personnel management. But those modules are not so much practical, you know? So you just probably memorize a few contents and pass, get a distinction.
Just for purposes of passing.
But our colleagues are more practical. You know, you're talking about somebody, like I was saying, the case I was giving much earlier. My professor at the university, who's teaching me personnel management, okay, efficiency and performance appraisals. In the afternoon, in the morning you've got classes at the university. In the afternoon you go at Siemens. Siemens, which is Siemens as you call it.
Yeah.
He's the personnel manager at Siemens.
Wow.
And he'll tell you that, remember what I told you? Yes, so here's the case. This is a lady. Obviously, they also hold confidentiality, but he makes you access the files. There's a lady who's applying for leave, but she's just come from, you know, there's a practical example of what you are facing. Yes. And that helps you. For instance, there's interviews, they're interviewing interns. It makes you come part of that interview. And then the questions are being phrased, even the scores, the way they are conducted, you know. So our colleagues have made it much more practical, which we can also do here. I'm aware that in the health sector, we have been much more practical because of the university teaching hospitals. There's the Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital, University Teaching Hospital, and the other one in Chikankata. I'm aware that students come from outside this country to come and learn in these universities because it's much more practical. You're seeing the actual problems, a patient there. Yeah, it's a good thing, but I think we should not just be associated with disease and distress. We should be associated with development.
And research.
You know, and research, yes. Yeah.
How long were you